So our very first episode, we start the new season really far in advance. And as you saw by the title of this episode, this is about Spinal Tap, which was directed by Rob Reiner, who tragically was murdered between the time we recorded it and the time we released it. So I figured it was weird not to say anything. I've always been a fan of his. I recently rewatched Misery after I found out he died, which might have been a weird choice, but it's a really good movie.
I watched When Harry Met Sally, which was kind of weird because the fake orgasm scene always makes me like cum in my pants.
Yeah, that movie though is my favorite romantic comedy. When Harry Met Sally.
I've noticed a lot of clips from him on All in the Family that have been making the rounds. There was one where he comforted Edith when she was having like a crisis of faith that like really like hit me pretty hard. And yeah, you can tell Rob was put everything into a lot of the roles that he played and a lot of the directing that he did. And it's a damn shame what happened. It's extra tragic that it was his son, and his son probably wasn't in his right mind, and he's going to regret that for the rest of his life. And
yeah,
it's just all around terrible situation.
Allegedly,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, allegedly.
But yeah, it's a really tragic situation. Princess Bride was a huge movie when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Watched it many times. I don't feel like I need to rewatch it because I can replay the whole movie in my head at this point.
Just watch the Deadpool like recreation of it with Fred Savage.
I remember when I was a teenager, I thought Stand By Me was great, especially the scene where the kid gets the leech on his dick and the vomit scene, but it also was like had a lot of heart to it too.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of his long and fruitful relationship with Stephen King. Or at least two of his best movies are Stephen King adaptations.
Yeah, Stand By Me was one. I watched that a lot when I was a kid, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And I watched Misery a lot when I was younger as well. Rob Reiner was his movies, like even if I didn't know he was a director at the time that I watched it, I watched a lot of his movies. So yeah, he was a great director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a great actor too when he was in front of the camera.
Yeah. Like him playing the straight man to all of the members of Spinal Tap is really what makes the movie work too. Because it gives everyone else permission to be weirder.
Yeah. So yeah, rest in peace, Rob and Michele. You will definitely be missed.
We'll dedicate this episode to you, and why not the whole season?
Yes. All right. Well, on to the regularly scheduled episode.
What? Let's
Season 3?
Let's banter.
Banter? What's banter?
There was a little Spanish flea.
Hello and welcome to Season 3 of Side 1, Side B. I'm Steve.
And I'm Dave.
And I'm Sean. I'm Side C.
And together we form one mega Zord of record reviewers. Nope, not feeling that bit.
No.
Anyway.
No, cut. Fuck you.
Anyway, today.
Abort.
Give that bit an abortion. Kill it in the womb.
You know what? It wasn't a human anyways.
And then
It had a vestigial tail.
And then I'll edit it into a Lost comic.
Yeah.
It was only a few cells anyways.
Well, what do you guys? How you guys feeling about opening up Season 3? We're veering towards our 100th episode.
Ooh.
I'm feeling good about it. I'm looking forward to what our 100th episode will be because it will be annoying for us to listen to, but it will hopefully give some good content for other people.
What's the 100th episode, Dave? You'll have to wait and see.
because it's a.
We've teased
adult
this
We've mentioned what we're doing. It's Lulu by Lou Reed and Metallica.
Yes, and then leading up to it, we're gonna do Metal Machine Music, and then Saint Anger. But that's the beginning of season 4.
Oh yeah.
Today we're doing season 3. I think we've season 4 is going to be kind of like a bad album season, so this is going to be our last general album season. Before that, don't know if we'll go back to general albums or theme seasons after that. We'll decide that when the time comes. But yeah, we got a lot of really cool episodes planned out for the season, like a bunch of stuff that we all love. And we're starting it out with a laser disc today.
Pew pew pew.
Pew pew. I just want to say for the record, I have never watched a laser disc. Never.
You haven't been here for any of our Laserdisc episodes so far. That's right.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I
was
have
Pete.
Like in my whole life, I lived through the 90s. I have never watched a fucking laser disc. Not once have I ever watched a fucking laser disc.
Not even in like school, because I remember they would drag out the Laserdisc player for like an education.
And then you could watch Lemurs fuck.
We watched VHS tapes, and then it went straight to DVDs.
There was a little Spanish flea.
All right. I have never watched a laser disc in my life.
And now you're going to in 2025.
I know. After the technology is fucking dead as a fucking doornail.
They can't make new ones because no machines exist to make them anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's crazy.
I did buy you one though.
You did. You bought me what was it?
Animal House. Yeah.
We'll have to all sit together and watch that sometime.
Yeah. But yeah, I've never watched a laser disc.
Well, today we're going to be watching a movie on Laserdisc, and this is a movie that we've all seen probably dozens of times.
Yeah.
Today we're going to watch This Is Spinal Tap.
Woo!
Let's talk about some Spinal Tap memories, because it goes back pretty far for me. I remember we had in my hometown we had a Hastings like store with like CDs and DVDs and all that kind of stuff, and I think my buddy, who was like one of those annoying film bro types, rented it and we watched it together. So I watched it like probably when I was like 16, 17 for the first time. And of course I've seen it probably dozens of times since then.
My first exposure to Spinal Tap was the Simpsons episode that had Spinal Tap in it. Then after that, when I saw that, I was like, this seems like a joke band. Is this a real band? And then I did some research. It was like, no, but it wasn't invented for the episode. So it's not real. It is a joke band, but
it's a joke band that's become a real band pretty much, I think, because I don't know, it's Spinal Tap. Their lyrics are cheesy as hell, but musically I still think they're fantastic. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. Sean.
You know, I think I remember watching it for the first time on VHS. Probably, I think I remember renting it probably when I was like 13, 14, maybe. With my friend Adam, because we used to watch movies together and we'd just rent random movies. Like you'd go to the, just be like, oh, I heard about this movie. It's like this rock band that's kind of dumb. Like that's all we knew about it, was like we heard that they were a rock band that was dumb. And then we watched it and like
do you realize how little that narrows it down?
Yeah, well, but it was hilarious because it's kind of like, because we both love Monty Python too, and it's kind of Monty Python-esque type thing. You know?
It's the same kind of dry humor.
Which came out first, this or Decline of Western Civilization 2?
This came out in 1984.
So yeah, I
think Decline of Western Civilization came after.
I think so too, but this is definitely making fun of what Decline of Western Civilization 2 was just straight up portraying.
Yeah. But it's just kind of funny that after being in bands and like being around a scene, you kind of like, oh yeah, this is it almost like watching it later on was kind of
Well, like spoiler for the movie that's been out for 50 years now.
Yeah.
That scene where they get lost in a back room, that's happened to me. Like I want to say it was with Valley of Shadows. We like wandered around like a back section for a little bit looking for the stage in some small dinky town somewhere. Yeah.
This came out 4 years before Decline Part 2.
Yeah. You know what's really crazy about this movie is, and of course we're getting ahead of ourselves again by mentioning the Stonehenge scene, but that scene, a lot of people think it came from Black Sabbath because they have a song called Stonehenge, and they had a Stonehenge set that was too big for most venues, so it just kind of rotted on a dock and never like did anything. So they Black Sabbath thought that Spinal Tap wrote that into the movie based on the Black Sabbath thing, but it was actually like pure coincidence because this movie was filmed before the Born Again tour. So they predicted the Black Sabbath thing almost like note for note, except for, you know, it was too small instead of too big.
Well, I think they just knew, like, I wonder if they had been around. I don't know really the background of like the guys that in Spinal Tap, if they knew like rock and roll guys were kind of divas a little bit, like and that's how they act in the movie, of course, you know. And so if they knew that that's what they were like rock and roll tours or something, I don't know.
I do think...
Well, they were inspired by that Scorsese documentary that Dana actually had us watch recently. Which one was that?
Oh, Last Waltz?
Yeah, Last Waltz. I think it was kind of born from that. It's like they're kind of trying to capture that energy, except funny, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do think that a lot of the toxic personality traits of rock stars that this lampoons also exist in comedy people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think
I
think they were able to write what they knew to some degree with that.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Because they were probably in a comedy group of some kind.
And Harry Shearers, the guy that played Derek Smalls, the bass player, he went on tour with Saxon to get some inspiration for his character, and he actually borrowed pretty heavily from like their old bass player.
That explains a lot, actually.
So I think they all did a really good job of like, I don't know, research development for their parts, if that's a good way to put it. I remember Rob Reiner was talking about in an interview where like everybody around him were like, why are you doing a movie about a band that doesn't exist? Why don't you just follow around an actual band? He's like, well, because
this is a comedy.
Because it's a comedy. Yeah, exactly. But
like some people I heard like some bands watched it and thought it wasn't, like they thought it was a real band. Because they were like, oh,
this is what touring's like.
Yeah.
This is what dealing with record A&R people is like.
Yeah, they thought it was a real band. So they were like, oh, I'd never heard of these guys, you know, kind of thing.
But I think that's what's great about this movie is if you were just dropped this movie with no context about anything and you watched it, I think there aren't many moments that give it away that it's an overt comedy. Like, I think a lot of it actually seems like it's a documentary.
That just happens to be funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of like, have you guys seen the story of Anvil?
Yeah. That's not that different from this.
Yeah, no, not really. And something that we should do for the podcast sometime. I think that'd be fun. Won't be able to find a laser disc of that one because, as we said, they don't make them anymore.
No. But I saw Anvil in the theaters.
Did you see that in the theaters?
Yeah.
I think I got it on DVD after it came out, and I remember it being really good, and I remember buying their album and not thinking their album was very good.
Yeah.
I think the reason Laserdisc didn't really take off because it's like the most inconvenient way ever to watch a fucking movie. Steve, because
yeah.
you have to stop it halfway through to flip the fucking disc over.
And movies aren't paced like records where
Yes.
where there's a like point in the middle where you can like stop it to flip it over. Oftentimes with laser discs it just kind of like drops like randomly in the middle of a scene.
Or remember when we did Judgment Night? It was very jarring. Like,
Yeah.
it did not build to it at all. It was like, I think it was even in the middle of a scene too.
Like probably in the middle of a fucking sentence. It's like who thought this was like the best form? It's like just wait until it can be put all on a little disc.
I thought it was funniest in heavy metal because it had you flip the disc in the middle of one of the, since it's episodic, like in the middle of one of the segments. And then there was barely anything left on the set. Like they took barely any time on the second side. So it's just like, you could have just, stopped it before the segment started and just had it like start at the beginning of that rather than interrupt it. But no.
Well, flipping it over is a pretty big drawback, but at the time, this was the most high quality way you could watch movies, and it didn't degrade like VHS tapes did. So I don't know. I think it was the format for like rich people, because I only ever like I see like I remember Kevin Smith was talking about like wanting a laser disc collection, and it just seems like either a rich person or a pretentious collector thing.
I bet,
and I guess I'm the latter.
I bet Kevin Smith had, if he did get a laser disc collection, would have like a bunch of like really low budget horror movies and a bunch of really weird porn.
All right. Well, let's take a look at the cover of the movie here.
It's a guitar knotted.
Now, I have only seen this cover art for this release. Like, that did not survive to any of the DVD releases.
I was going to say,
my DVD that I have at home is like a black cover with the Spinal Tap logo in silver. Then it says "This Is" on top of it.
Yeah, that's the only cover art I've ever seen. This is kind of cool alternate cover art.
I think this is like an original pressing. Like, I think
like it's a fucking record. This is original pressing.
An original pressing of the laser disc of This Is Spinal Tap.
It's worth $3.
Actually, I had to spend $15 on this one.
Twice
because some douchebag on eBay he sold me one and then packaged it in a bubble wrapper, and then it broke.
Then he got mad when you didn't leave him a review.
Yeah. So the second time they put it in the box that they make for this,
a different vendor.
Yeah,
that didn't suck.
Exactly. I don't know.
So
he acted all nonchalant about it, like, "Oh, sorry about that," and it's like, dude, they don't make these anymore. Like, you just destroyed one for no reason.
Yeah. So yeah, it's actually kind of cool. It's like it's almost like a Maserati, right? Like that matters to anybody. Like the
Johnny Ramone guitar.
Yeah, it's like a Johnny Ramone guitar knotted, and then the back is pictures of
Lily.
What's that?
Pictures of Lily.
Pictures of Lily, yes. Of the quote unquote Spinal Tap band and Rob Reiner. And yeah, that's pretty much the cover.
I remember there's a Cracked article about songs about masturbation, and they talked about Pictures of Lily, and they tried to plant the mental image in your head of Pete Townsend beating his meat by doing the windmill guitar method on it.
Dave, read those blurbs on the front, if those are interesting. I don't remember if they were interesting.
One of the brightest, funniest American parodies to come along since Airplane. Vincent Canby, The New York Times. Perfect. Every detail is a zinger. Sheila Benson, The Los Angeles Times. Hilarious. Witty. Mischievous satire. Janet Maslin, The New York Times. Hysterical. Perfect as the parody. Joel Siegel, ABC TV. That's a critic I actually know. And then, here's one I definitely know. One of the funniest movies I've seen in a long time. Roger Ebert, At the Movies.
I watched their review. They seem delightfully, they seem to take a delightful pleasure in watching it.
There's a couple blurbs on the back. Don't miss it. Stephen Schaefer, U.S. Magazine, and one of the funniest films ever made, Mitchell Schneider, BAM Magazine. I agree with these blurbs. It's a good movie. I wouldn't have watched it as many times as I have if I didn't like it. So
they should have made, if they were going to do like an alternate cover for the Laserdisc They should have made Smell the Glove cover.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't do that until recently.
Oh, yeah.
I suppose, after they saw Sabrina Carpenter put out her cover, they were like, oh, well, we got to do it now.
I don't think the Sabrina Carpenter cover was that offensive, but hey.
I don't know what you're talking about, so.
Dave, bring up the Sabrina Carpenter cover and show him.
Is she smelling a glove?
Well,
more or less.
While he's doing that, I'll read the blurb here on the back. You'll never be able to watch a rock group seriously again after experiencing this hilarious comedy about a supposed heavy metal band called Spinal Tap. Once upon a time, they had a pretty big hit song. Now, nearly 2 decades later, Spinal Tap still clings to some glint of their lost glory as they embark on an accident-plagued tour across America to promote their latest album, Smell the Glove.
Well, that's more like Smell the Crotch.
Yeah.
That's the Sabrina Carpenter cover. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Steve.
In Cleveland, the group gets lost underneath the stage. In Washington, they're accidentally booked at an Air Force formal base. And in a Chicago record store, no one shows up to get their autographs. Oh, thanks for spoiling the movie for us.
I know. What the fuck?
You'll see it in all the rockumentary parody that has everybody cheering. Directed with great wit and affection by Emmy Award-winning Rob Reiner.
Who plays a role in it?
Who does? Is this my favorite Rob Reiner movie? Maybe.
I don't know.
Let's talk about the actors. We got Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, Harry Shearer, Rob Reiner, June Chadwick, Tony Hendra, and Bruno Kirby.
Oh, and Fran Drescher is in here pre-nanny.
Yeah.
And then,
They say it's sexist. Well, what's wrong with being sexy?
Sexist.
now, as far as I know, all of the dialogue, or not all of it, but most of it's like ad-libbed.
Well,
They basically just set up the scenes and said, go for it.
Yeah, because like Christopher Guest, like most of his movies later on are mostly ad-lib movies.
Yeah.
It's his style of comedy.
Yeah. So like Waiting for Guffman. What's the other?
Best in Show.
Best in Show.
Best
yeah.
in Show
A Mighty
is really
Wind.
funny.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just kind of his style. So I think I'm pretty sure that this movie's the same way. It's like, because you can see at parts where they're talking and like they bust out laughing, like when they're sitting down at the table and they're interviewing, and like there's a part where they just all like start laughing at what they're saying.
Well, all right. There isn't like a track list included with this. To read out like I've done with the other ones.
So just kind of, they'll just
The first 45 minutes.
I forget.
So follow
me and
along.
Dana watched this a few weeks ago, and then we went on a whole Spinal Tap kick. We watched the concert movie, The Return to Spinal Tap. We watched the new one, which I'd love to watch with both of you guys, both of those. And I watched a lot of media about them. Like they've had albums since then. Like in '92, they had "Break Like the Wind." Then 2009, 2009, I think it was "Back from the Dead," and then now they have the soundtrack to the new one. Now, "Break Like the Wind." Did they name it thinking it was some big epic song, and they didn't realize they named the song after a fart? Or do they have immature senses of humor and they named their song after a fart and made it an epic song?
The actors named it.
Well, the
After
characters,
but the
not
characters
the actors.
didn't know. The characters were being utterly serious, is the impression I get from them.
That's what I think too.
Oh yeah, the characters were totally serious.
Well, all right. I think that's everything. So, well, Sean, you ready to watch your first Laserdisc?
Well, let's do this.
Let's pop Sean's Laserdisc cherry.
Yay.
It's an important moment, and I'm glad that we're basing a podcast around it. It's
Get some lube.
It's historic.
You know, we could totally like watch a DVD then be more efficient.
We could, but we're not going to.
Yeah.
We're going to get conversation out of what random place it breaks in
That's
the middle.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about. Like, what the fuck is this?
I hope it's in the middle of a song.
It'll be like, tonight I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not that blatant. It's not as annoying as the other laser discs we've seen. Because I'm thinking, like, it wasn't heavy metal during heavy metal, it was in the middle of a fucking segment.
Yeah, and they could have just not.
They could have just put this entire segment on the next disc. And
They could have,
fine.
because the other side wasn't very long.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Somebody fucked up. But
Well,
I hope someone got fired over that one.
well, they probably just didn't give a fuck. They're like, it's rich people shit. Fuck it. Who gives a fuck? Only rich people are gonna. They're like, DVDs are coming out in a couple of years. Who gives a fuck about Laserdisc?
a couple years. I think Laserdisc started coming out in the late 70s.
Yeah, but no one started buying them until the fucking 90s. And then the 90s, like they didn't lasted like maybe 5 years, and then DVDs started coming out. And
Like,
people,
That's the funny thing about Laserdisc is if you want to watch some like big Hollywood movie that had like a huge release, you can find the Laserdisc for it for like $5. Now the player is like $300. I got mine out of a recycle pile, so I lucked out. But
Much like Spinal Tap themselves, Laserdiscs, big in Japan.
they are. There's a lot of things that I want that I can't get because they're imports from Japan and they're expensive. I think Pink Floyd's Live at Pompeii was one of them.
Then there's also stuff that you want to get from Japan, like panties from a vending machine.
well, they just
and like a live crab from a vending
released
machine.
Live at Pompeii on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
really good.
That's not Laserdisc though.
Fuck you. Like literally fuck you, Steve.
We should do the wall on Laserdisc though.
Oh, that one I think is relatively cheap. I've been meaning to buy it, but funds are kind of tight right now. But anyway,
you
guys ready to watch
Steve.
a movie?
Yeah.
Let's watch this fucking movie.
All right, let's do it. And we are back from side one of This Is Spinal Tap.
I like it that it cut off kind of as Stonehenge was ending, but not enough time for it that you could tell it was the end of the scene.
It totally cut it off in the middle of the fucking joke.
Yeah. Like it didn't give the joke time to land.
Yeah. So, yeah, it cut it off in a dumb fucking place. Yeah. Okay, Laserdisc sucks. Fuck Laserdisc.
I don't know. I kind of want to watch all my favorite movies on Laserdisc now, just as a bit. Like, let's watch Alien on Laserdisc, see what weird scene it cuts in the middle of. Let's watch The Thing on Laserdisc. Let's just do this.
All right, we're committed Laserdisc aficionados.
Yes,
now.
justifying my Laserdisc player.
What do you have on Laserdisc? I think Star Wars is probably overpriced, but we could do Star Trek.
I already have Star Wars, the original.
Oh, nice.
Really?
And I have every Star Trek movie up to First Contact.
Actually, Laserdisc is one of the few places you can watch the original Star Wars movies in their original form.
Yeah,
Like,
and that
without
one
the bad
surprisingly wasn't that expensive. I was expecting that one to be an arm and a leg, but I got it for a decent price.
Yeah, you can get probably Empire and do you just have the first one or do you have Empire and Return of the Jedi?
Just the first one.
Should get Empire as well.
Trying to think, what else do I have? Obviously, Judgment Night and Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
Animal House.
Yeah, Animal House.
You should
and then for the podcast, I bought The Song Remains the Same.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Yeah.
And the Sgt. Pepper movie, which I don't know. Would the Sgt. Pepper movie make sense to do during the bad album season?
Okay, so the album's good. I've never seen the movie.
I've heard bad things about the movie.
Yeah, maybe that would be appropriate for that season then.
Yeah.
So we could do the album during a good album season, but do the movie during a bad album season.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But yeah, one half of Spinal Tap. What'd you guys think?
Was that exactly one half, or is that just as many minutes as they could fit onto the first side? And then
that I don't know.
Because
I don't know. I felt like a majority of the movie.
Yeah,
'Cause
most of the bits I remembered were right there.
Yeah, that was about 50 minutes of the movie.
So no thought or planning was put into
Where to break it.
where to break
Yeah,
it.
it just said, "Hey, here's a cutting spot." Hey.
Yeah, classic movie. What stood out to me the most this time, I kind of stopped taking notes in real time as it kept going. But
I wasn't taking notes.
Yeah, I didn't take notes either.
I really like the bit early on when they're in the cab in New York and the cab driver is trying to talk to them about Frank Sinatra and they just roll up the window.
That was hilarious.
It
Yeah.
was. And they were rude to the cab driver, but there's also, I don't want to fucking hear about Frank Sinatra from a random person.
You're right. Yeah.
I would probably be the same way. I don't like.
Well, because he was annoying. I would have considered him annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the cult of Frank Sinatra is annoying. Like,
Yeah. So I recently, speaking of Frank Sinatra, I recently went on like this little journey or whatever you want to call it,
Into
where
the center of the mind.
yes, where I was like, I found this book that's called 1001 Albums to listen to before you die, right? And so the first album on the list, because it goes in release date order, is Frank Sinatra. And I listened to it and I'm like, this album is terrible. Because it's Frank Sinatra. So every song just kind of sounds like what you think Frank Sinatra would sound
It's
like.
a crooning ballad with a swelling string section towards the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
One of my
it's pretty milquetoast and bad.
One of my favorite epic rap battles of history is the Frank Sinatra versus Freddie Mercury.
Oh shit. But,
Freddie Mercury was able to write songs that sounded different from each other.
yeah.
Yeah, one of Freddie's insults was like, "You have two whole notes in your range" or something like that.
Yeah. And that's about true. I mean, I'm sure like back in the day he was well respected, but I don't know. To my modern ears or whatever you want to call me, I just didn't enjoy it. So
My favorite Frank Sinatra fact is that Harlan Ellison, the science fiction writer, once almost got in a fist fight with him.
yeah, it's true. I heard that one.
What's interesting about watching Spinal Tap after becoming a musician, like, because I have like the pre-musician and post-musician view of Spinal Tap, and I've never been on a major tour like them, and I've never like had to deal with record companies or anything like that, but
Yeah.
I think we've all had to deal with small versions of everything that they've had to do in that movie, and it's like you don't really like pick up on that like when you're watching it as just kind of a casual music enjoyer, I guess. It's interesting also knowing like the history of like the glam metal bands at the time, or well, this I guess this kind of predates glam a little bit, but like the more evolving like heavy metal sound. It's interesting because they were Beatles-esque, and then they became a heavy metal band. So it's almost like, what if the Beatles became a heavy metal band in a sense?
Yeah, there wasn't. I don't think there were a whole lot of bands that had the continuity to go from the 60s into this era of the 80s. Like
No.
there was the Kinks, but the Kinks didn't end up sounding like this. They did like some like heavy metal influence stuff and like rockers, but I think the Kinks did like some prog stuff, but more or less leaned more into punk as they got to the 80s. But yeah.
Yeah, and it showed that Spinal Tap had actually changed their name too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they
They were the Thames
The
Men.
Thames Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought actually the one thing that kind of stood out to me this time was the record shop promoter. Like he wasn't the record shop owner, but he was the promoter for that scene where they were supposed to be signing records.
Yeah, like, kick my ass. I'm
Kick
not.
my ass.
I'm not asking. I'm telling you.
ya. So that actually rang really true to like some shows I played like out like outside of Omaha, where you'd like, oh man, usually this place is hopping on a Friday night, man. I don't know what happened, man.
Yeah.
We usually have like tons of people in here. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just fucking dead here, you know, like, and they're like, I'm sorry, man. Hey, I don't know how we can make it up to you. And it's just like, I don't know, you know, like, well, can we get money? Oh man, we don't got any money to give you, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that kind of, that like little bit, even though it was kind of over the top ridiculous, where he's like, "Oh, I kicked my ass."
Yeah.
It was, I've seen
Guys like that. Yeah.
where like the promoter, quote unquote, was like, "I over promoted," and it's like,
Yeah.
no, you didn't. You didn't do shit.
That's I think that's a good segue to talking about their manager. What
Best character in the movie, honestly.
Yeah, what I really love about him is how he coddles them through the entire fucking movie. Like he never like gives them like any like sort of bad news. It's just like, oh, Boston canceled, but you know, it's not a big college town.
This is one of the best jokes.
Like
in the movie.
Nigel's like bitching about the size of his sandwich, and just as sincerely as he can, he's like just supporting him, be like, I hope it doesn't affect your performance.
Yeah. He's like, well, I wouldn't want to eat that either.
Well, but then we see like a dark side to him, like when he's like yelling at like the hotel clerk. Or,
That was uncalled for.
yeah. or when he's being like an asshole to the woman who designs the Stonehenge set when he finds out that it's small because that's what was drawn on the napkin.
She was simply following instructions.
Yeah.
Well, she was, because he did write the symbol for 18 inches, not 18 foot.
But yeah, that wrath for like regular people, like he never directs it towards Spinal Tap. It looks
Well,
like.
the people that it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, and that's also, it's showing like what a like shitty manager he is too, because he should be, that's what a manager should be doing, is being like keeping them on task. That's
Yeah.
why he manages them. He's supposed to do that, but he's also supposed to be keeping them like, hey, you know, you're fucking up. I know I am not supposed to be your buddy. I'm your fucking, you know, anyways.
Well,
Yeah.
I also love when they're in their office talking about like their declining sales and concert attendance, and it's like, do you think their popularity is waning? He's like, oh, I think it's becoming more selective.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
It's like, dude, you are coping so hard right now.
yeah. So yeah, he is a great character, because
Yeah.
he's a shitty manager, because he doesn't reel him in, but he's like, our face facts are like, you know, like give him the hard truths, but he's not a shitty manager because he's like ripping them off, you know what I mean?
To me, why he's the most interesting character to watch in the movie is he's the one with the most of an interior life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you also mentioned that you love the cricket bat.
Yeah.
Oh,
The cricket
yeah.
bat is also a great little bit of characterization. Yeah.
Oh, my favorite bit too is the little pods, when the
Yeah.
pods won't open.
Yeah, that one really stands out to me. Like every time I watch it, it's, one thing I'll say about this movie, there aren't many bits in this movie where I feel like where it feels written. Like there's a few moments like during the pod scene when he's like hitting it with a hammer and going at it with a torch or whatever. Like that was a little over the top. But for the most part,
The blowtorch was over the top, but everything else was, the hammer was funny because it's supposed to be like quiet.
Yeah.
It's like ding, ding.
And it's not on beat with the song.
Yeah.
but I can't think of too many moments in, especially this half of the movie, where it feels unrealistic. Like
No.
it really feels like you're watching a documentary.
And I love, one of my favorite scenes in it is when my favorite member of the band is Derek Smalls on the bass, when he's going through airport security and he keeps setting off the metal detector. And they finally scan his crotch and he takes out a zucchini wrapped in aluminum foil.
Well, the most unrealistic part hasn't happened yet, which is when the drummer explodes. But
I mean, dozens of people spontaneously
Seriously
combust a
combust
year.
a year,
It's just
yeah.
not widely reported.
Yeah.
yeah, so
Dozens.
dozens. There's dozens of us. Dozens.
I like, I do like the scene when they're in the hotel and they meet the more successful musician and like his manager is trying to like keep them away because he thinks that they're just fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they start calling him a wanker. What a wanker.
Another, I suppose, interesting dynamic is Janine and Nigel. Like, they fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
Anytime one is brought up in front of the other one, or if they're in the same room, like, they're like just so annoyed at the other one. And at one point, David St. Hubbins brings up that,
They're so similar.
Yeah, they're so similar.
It's like they're the same person, just different.
And she just stared daggers at him.
She looked like she wanted to rip his fucking head off.
Well,
I love that.
And what's funny is I think he's right. I think they do have a similar personality.
Yeah, I think he is right. And then, there's the scene where they're sitting at the diner and they're, like she's given their designs where they're all dressed as their astrological animal sign. And just when that's getting shot down by the rest of the band, basically, there's just like a really mean smirk on Nigel's face too, which is like a really good little bit of acting. Just like you can just tell like how much he hates her just in the look he's giving and in the look when he like mispronounces the word Dolby, how she mispronounced it. I don't remember how it is.
Doubly.
Exactly. Doubly, yeah.
As we pointed out in the non-canon episode on Thomas Dolby that we did between seasons.
Yeah. Yeah, I love all the different dynamics between the characters. The keyboard player and the drummer don't have a lot to do in it. Like they have scenes and they have little funny bits, but like the most memorable stuff with the keyboard player, other than when he's playing a video game, is like when he's during which one was it? Heavy Duty, where he's dressed as like a mental patient.
Yeah.
And has like the diodes on his head, and he's like rolling his eyes. And,
Yeah, he
that was
fucking nailed
hilarious.
it. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the computer that they're playing in that scene is a TRS-80 from Radio Shack. So,
Do you have one of those?
that's great.
Do you have one of those, Steve?
I don't have that one specifically, but I have the next model, the color computer.
Do you have any weird dated software synths on the one you have?
Probably not right now, but there probably are some that exist.
Fair enough. Oh, one of my favorite bits that we definitely need to talk about too is the part where Nigel's playing like that really pretty piano piece, and it's like he likes Mozart and Bach. This is
Genuinely beautiful playing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song. I love it, and like his little bit about that it's in D minor, the saddest of the keys. I wrote one of the earliest songs in my old band, Gong Farmer, in D minor because I wanted to do a song in a minor key, and I picked D minor because of that scene because I thought it would be funny. And yeah, the name of the song is White Collar Murder Ballad. I like it. I don't know how often I'll incorporate it into an Alliterates set, but maybe at some point. But yeah, great scene. And then just to end it with that he named the song Lick My Love Pump.
Which
And his
is-
delivery is just perfect. Like
'Cause
you
he's-
buy it. It's so sincere.
Because I think it cut too, like, because I have a suspicion that Rob Reiner, I would love to see like the next 10 seconds to see if like Rob Reiner just lost his shit.
I kind of wonder. Yeah, I kind of wonder if some of the if they decided to end some of the scenes because it became impossible to maintain character. It's like, well, this must be the punchline because it's
There had to have been more than a few moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Sean, you pointed out during one of the scenes, like I think it was
when they were doing the reviews.
yeah, like
Yeah.
one of them was barely containing their laughter.
Yeah. Michael McKean was,
Yeah.
he
was like hiding his face.
he was hiding his face. Because one point, like, you know, he's not hiding his face, but then the rest of the time when they had the one of their albums was called something sandwich and then
Shark Sandwich.
and then they're like 2 words, shit sandwich, and they're like, where did they publish that? And they're all laughing, but yeah, you can tell that they just were laughing at that one. So yeah, but they couldn't contain themselves in that scene where they're all sitting there at the table.
I do like how like picture perfect all of the like little portraits of what they're like as a band before they went heavy metal were. Like, you know, like Give Me Some Money is, yep, that is like 60s British rock and roll. And then like how they transitioned into, you know, like the big orchestral Cups and Cakes.
Yeah.
Cups and Cake. Yeah.
They nailed like each era they were, because they had like, yeah, the era where they looked like the Beatles when they were still wearing their suits and had the mop top hair or whatever.
And I love when Harry Shearer's like, I love you.
Yeah. Yeah.
where he mouths it, but it's like, you know, that was fucking great.
I kind of like the 60s Tap better than the 80s Tap. I don't know.
They seem like they're more interesting as a psychedelic band than as a metal band.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more if we do the second movie, but they embrace that period quite a bit during that one. But all right, let's move on to talking about the music. Now, what I think is really cool about Spinal Tap is their songs they're corny, but they're all fucking bangers.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's a single song on this like side of movie that I didn't enjoy. And having listened to the soundtrack, like they're actually fleshed out songs, and they're all like great musicians that like themselves. Like they're not just acting. Like they write the songs and they perform the songs, and it's crazy.
Which is not easy to do. Like, you know, it's one thing to be able to write songs, but like to be able to write like joke songs that actually like hit really well, that is hard to do.
Right. Yeah. I mean, a lot of times similar pieces of media with a similar presence would
just kind of fuck it up.
Yeah. It would just be a little too obvious, but like, I don't know, in this case, like the lyrics, they do really come off as like something a naive 80s rock star would write.
Yeah.
I want my girl fits me like a flesh tuxedo. I want to sink her with my pink torpedo. Like, you know, that's stupid. And that's a punchline, but there are a lot of 80s songs that had lyrics like that.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, they're cheesy enough where it's like, it borders on it could be an 80s song or it could be a Spinal Tap lyric.
Yeah.
It's like, because we listened to a whole album, Pyromania, we're looking at you, of cheesy shit.
And I think it's funny, like, Stonehenge is like a legitimate, like, epic song, but it starts with him going, nobody knows who they were or what they were doing. Like, it's
Stonehenge.
it kind of understates the epicness, but like it works. It's just fucking,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's fucking brilliant. I love all the songs that they played during this side. From the 60s to the 80s.
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments is when Nigel is talking about how he can express himself with his solos, and it cuts to like him, you know, like playing a solo, and then he starts kicking another guitar, just like playing I don't know, whatever you get from that, an open scale. Yeah.
Well, just like open
notes.
Yeah, it just sounds. And then he picks up a violin, and he's like hitting the violin on the strings, but then
It's just like a blast of noise, but then he like tunes the violin a little bit,
and then like starts doing it,
and it sounds no different.
Yeah, no change whatsoever.
That was hilarious.
And the thing that reminds me a lot of, which I didn't see Song Remains the Same until much later, but there's a scene in Song Remains the Same that is, I am sure that is making fun of, where Jimmy Page like pulls out a violin bow and starts soloing on his guitar with that.
He used to do that during the Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
He used to play his guitar with a bow.
Yeah. But when we watch Song Remains the Same, tell me that doesn't like scene doesn't scan exactly like that scene in Spinal Tap.
Except for it is, I don't know, it's kind of epic when Jimmy Page does it. I'm sorry. Because it sounds really like wicked and like creepy and shit.
Now, a lot of people have talked about what works about this movie, which is most of it.
Yeah.
Are there any specific moments that don't work for you guys that you can think of, at least on this side?
I think what works for it also is what is kind of detrimental, because it kind of happened when I started yelling at you last time when we were talking about it. It was, I'm so sick of turn it up to 11 joke.
Yeah, that's been overplayed.
I think some of the jokes have been kind of overdone.
Over-repeated.
So I think what's kind of overdone it is its legacy of like, because there's people that haven't even seen the fucking movie that like, oh, we need to turn it up to 11, you know, kind of thing. And so, and that's no fault of the movie, whatever. But like, so like, even when we get to that part when they're talking about the amplifiers, I wasn't really like laughing anymore, because I'm like, I've seen, the joke's done. It's gone stale.
It's made its rounds quite a few times.
And so, you know, and I got a cat on me that knows I'm allergic to it.
Flexo.
It's okay. It's okay.
Dave, any parts of the movie that didn't work for you? I can't really think of any.
Not in this part. I do think like when it gets near the end, there's some stuff in the second half that has some pacing issues, but we haven't hit those yet. I think right now it's pretty,
Yeah, because this half of the movie so far, I think, has just been like 100% on point.
One thing that I do think is interesting is they talk about their declining ticket sales, but like every time there's a shot of the crowd, it seems pretty full and lively.
For now.
Yeah.
I do think it's funny to hear Fran Drescher's real voice and not her annoying voice.
Not her nanny voice. Yeah. It just sounds like a New York accent.
It just she actually sounds like a reasonable person.
She's one of the more likable characters in that.
She is, because she's like, you have a sexist cover of a woman naked with a glove being shoved in her face. Yeah. What's wrong with the cover being sexy? Yeah. Not sexy, sexist.
Oh, now that we're talking about that scene, though, the cold sores, you say they're explained in a deleted scene?
Yes.
The herpes, so the mouth herpes?
In the scene where they're explaining that they're not going to do the cover, you can, if you look at their lips, they got herpes on them. And yeah, that comes from a deleted scene.
Massive, gross, like open, like herpes sores. It's amazing. The makeup department did great work on those because they look real but they look like worse than what you would normally see someone with.
Yeah, it's funny. The A&R executive is like one of the more human characters in this movie.
That's how you can tell it wasn't made by musicians. Well, by a touring band. They are musicians because they could write these songs. But yeah, like if this had been made by like as a joke by people who actually had to tour as a band, the A&R people would be much less sympathetic, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Now, one thing that I noticed is when they were doing the record signing that nobody showed up for, like the price tags of the albums were like $3.99. I think like we're watching on a CRT TV on a laser disc, so it's not like high definition quality. I'm sure on the new remastered version they just put out, you can see what the prices are. But assuming it's $3.99, like we looked up what the average price was, and didn't you say it was like $5.99?
They would have. So the MSRP would have been like $7.99 to $9.99. Mm-hmm. So like assuming it would have been like $5.99 in stores,
or maybe a little more expensive because a new release if they were selling.
Well, and I'm wondering, like, it seemed like their record company didn't have any faith in them. If it
so
was
they were already in the bargain bin.
Yeah.
At $3.99.
I bet they weren't getting, like, if the record company doesn't have faith, it doesn't get a lot of radio play. I bet they weren't getting a lot of radio play because there's a scene where they listen to the radio and it's just like one of their old songs when they were in the lushly orchestrated psychedelic band. Then the DJ makes a joke about the "Where Are They Now" file.
Yeah.
So it's like the DJ didn't even know they were on tour.
Yeah. And they were in the city and that they had just released a new album.
All right, so where we left off, it was just after the Stonehenge scene, or
during the Stonehenge scene.
yeah, where the little people were dancing around the little Stonehenge.
The little hinge.
We'll pick up with them bickering about that here in a second. Before I flip it over, it was so funny when I was putting the Laserdisc into the player, how much you were cracking up about it.
It's like a DVD player, but huge.
It's like the weirdest fucking thing I've seen Laserdisc, but it's been I guess 30 years since I've seen a fuking Laserdisc, really. I mean, I bought you the one, but I didn't actually look at it. I just bought it and brought it to you. I didn't even take it out of the bag. I just brought it to you. So it's
Robot House.
It's just kind of funny looking at a fucking Laserdisc because it's like a huge DVD.
It's so big. Yeah. It's the first time I saw it.
And then like when I think what made me crack up is when it came out. And the fucking tray is like this huge fucking tray.
It's so ridiculously big. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You should have had the microphones like on when I was dying laughing.
I think if we ever do a live show, we should do a Laserdisc thing, since we'd have an audience to watch a movie with us.
But yeah, that was me making fun of his fucking Laserdisc. Laserdisc is not a efficient media form. I don't know how they thought it would replace VHS, to be honest.
It predated VHS.
It was annoying to rewind VHS tapes before returning them to
no
to
one
the
gave a
Blockbuster.
fuck. They still did.
Yeah.
People still didn't do it.
Be kind, rewind.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I
no
mean,
one did
VHS
it.
obviously won. I mean, it was obviously the convenience.
VHS beat Beta and Laserdisc, and then
Wild
DVDs
to think
came
about
out.
that. Yeah.
You know what was funny though? When I'll tell this real quick before we flip it over. It's like an 8-track shape. Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh my god! That is so fucking big. But
it just looks so uncanny because I'm used to.
yeah, I'm used to.
It's like the PS2, like putting a DVD into that, but like twice or 10 times the size,
yeah.
5 times the size. I don't know.
Yeah. So when DVDs first came out, and they were still putting the Be Kind Rewind stickers in DVDs because they're like fucking idiots.
Yeah. They weren't using the products they were renting.
Yeah, they were just like putting the stickers on because they were told they had by corporate that they still had to put those stickers in DVDs. So all these DVDs had stickers that said "Be Kind Rewind." It's like, you fucking idiots.
I remember that picture of the DVD rewinder that circulated the early internet on the old Facebooks and MySpaces and whatnot.
I do remember being annoyed as a kid whenever I would bring home a tape from the rental and the person who had it previously hadn't rewound it. And then, I'd be excited to watch the movie Monty Python's Holy Grail or whatever it was I was putting in, and then having to wait for it to finish rewinding. It's but I have my microwave popcorn and my frozen pizza right now.
It's like going through my dad's cassette tapes right now. It's like I put it in and you got to wait like a minute for it to rewind, or it feels like a minute anyway.
It was usually like 3 or 4 or 5. I don't know.
It did take longer than it felt like it should, but maybe I was just a kid.
It all depended on how long you're like. We bought after a while we bought like a videotape rewinder, so like we would watch a movie and then my dad would make us put it in after we got done, put it in the VHS rewinder.
We had one of those too.
We would just hit rewind and then like turn off the TV and go to bed.
Oh wow, we would put it in the rewinder and then pop in a new movie.
Oh, smart. Yeah.
Because then we were like, oh, what are we gonna watch next, man?
Well, at least with Laserdisc, I don't have to do any of that.
You don't have to do that with DVD, Blu-ray, or fucking streaming.
Although Laserdiscs are noteworthy. We've already talked about this, so listen to the Judgment Night episode if you want to hear this whole thing. They are analog, weirdly.
Yeah, it's weird.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's technically.
It's a needle in there?
If you read the Wikipedia page, it's I don't know. It made my eyes cross over, and I don't think it made sense to Pete either.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, while we're watching The Last of Spinal Tap, I'm going to read the Wikipedia page on Laserdisc.
All right, are you guys ready for Puppet Show?
Puppet
Show. Puppet Show. Puppet Show.
I told
And
them
masturbation.
Spinal Tap and then Puppet Show.
Boston is not a college town is such a good joke, though.
And we're back.
Tonight I'm gonna rock you.
Tonight I'm gonna rock ya.
What'd you guys think of the rest of the movie?
I mean, it's good. The pacing issue I said is it feels like it resolves kind of fast at the end. But also I feel like they're running out of jokes, so they do kind of have to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, I don't think they could have gone on much longer, or else it would have just got really tedious.
Yeah.
Like to see it fall apart to the degree that it was falling apart would have moved it too heavily into cringe. Maybe it feels a little rushed at the end, and that's about it. But yeah, it's good. I think my favorite scene in the movie is at this end part, which is when they're playing at the Air Force Base.
The guy that plays the sergeant or whatever,
Fred Willard.
Yeah,
he's great.
He plays just like the normal guy shtick, like, so well.
Yeah.
Like it's charming.
He plays like the annoyingly wholesome, like super Christian Air Force guy, basically, that
Yeah.
we've all met at some point. They don't say he's super Christian, but come on, we've met that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like when he was like, oh, we're such a fan of your work, and you could tell the keyboard player was like starting to glow, and then he's just like, not yours specifically, I just mean in general.
Rock and roll music. Like, obviously never heard of Spinal Tap.
And then it cuts to them playing Sex Farm, and then like a bunch of like Air Force people and their dates wearing like really like
50s kind of.
Yeah, like really like conservative dresses type of thing. like just like plugging their ears and leaving. It's amazing. And then and then like his wireless unit picking up the transmissions from like the control tower.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
And then like when Nigel quits the band, that he doesn't like yell at or flip off Janine. He just kind of looks at her for a moment and then walks off.
Well, then we have like Ian quitting the band, the manager.
Yeah, finally snapped. Like I mentioned during the first half that like he just coddles them and was generally just positive in front of the Spinal Tap guys specifically. But yeah, at that point, after they're getting on his ass about like minorly fucking up, like he's just like, I've had it. This is the kind of shit that I go through.
Ian. Yeah.
No sex and drugs for Ian. So I looked it up, and I did find out why they had cold sores is because originally they a subplot was they had an opening all girl band, and they got herpes from the
I was wondering like where the opening band was and all this. Is like were they just local support at every city? But yeah.
So they originally had an opening all girl band, and they got herpes from them, and that was it.
I feel a little bad for Derek. The audience did not care for his jazz odyssey.
No,
I know.
David threw him under the bus. Like you could see like people clearing out and sitting down and giving the thumbs down when he said that.
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. He's like written by Derek Smalls, and they're like, boo. Like, it's like, damn, dude.
This really could have gotten into uncomfortable cringe territory if that scene had been like a couple seconds longer too.
I thought I remembered like and on the bass synth, or is that like a music video where they all like get introduced on bass guitar, or did I just miss that?
They don't really mention it in Big Bottoms. You just kind of see it. Maybe there was a live performance of them doing Big Bottoms that you're remembering.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're thinking
broadcasted
of like a live performance that they did. I remember there was a performance where a whole bunch of like band members from all sorts of bands like came out and they were all playing basses. Like guys like I think James Hetfield was in it, for example.
Oh, see, I don't know. Maybe is there like an extended cut of this? Because I remember that from another viewing.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'd have to look. Because I remember it from the movie because because it came out and it was like, and on the bass guitar and on the double neck bass guitar, Derek Smalls on the bass guitar. Blah, blah, blah. It's Nigel on the bass synth. What's his name? And then me on the lead bass. And then they started playing, and then they started playing the song. So maybe
maybe it was a live thing.
I don't know.
Because I don't remember ever seeing that.
Because it was the movie. I don't know. I think there's a
Mandela effect.
Man, yeah, maybe. Because I remember seeing that.
All right. So yeah, I think I largely agree with Dave's like assessment of the pacing. But that said, I'm not sure what other way they could have done it. So
I do think there's a little bit of a contrived thing just to get the storytelling ending, which is where you could really tell it's not a real documentary. Is that what? Do they just have Nigel's amp set up on stage with his equipment when he comes up on stage at like kind of redemptive moment at the end?
Yeah, pretty much the only like convenient thing there, because otherwise it would have been like one of David's other guitars or something. But
yeah,
that's a giant nitpick though.
Yeah, it's a good movie. They needed to wrap it up at that point.
Yeah,
they told the story they needed. It was ready to go. That's also just the moment when I hear about like real musicians who think it's a real documentary. It's like, really? Did you see that part? Did you just stop it when it got to the puppet show scene because it was too painful? Yeah.
Well, there was I was looking on IMDb. That's where I got the cold sore information, and it also said that Rob Reiner got quite a few comments on like people liked the movie and they asked him why he didn't use a more famous band. So people really thought that this was, because I think at the time mockumentaries were not very prominent,
There had been others, like I think there's one called "All You Need Is Cash" by the Ruddles.
Yeah, the Ruddles. Yeah.
Which,
but that
I would
was
love to do that one at some point.
That was overtly obvious. That was an overt mockumentary or whatever you want to call it, because it was Eric Idle, so like he was already famous for Monty Python, so they knew that was so people knew that was a joke. Where this one was much more subtle, and like people didn't know it was a joke at first.
Yeah, like the the higher profile comedians that we recognized. I don't know if the normal person would have recognized Fred Willard in 1984, maybe.
Yeah, and also I pointed it out at the time, and I looked it up, and it was Billy Crystal played a mime in one of this. It was in the dinner scene.
Mime
I was
is
like,
money.
Yeah, he said mime is money, and I was like, that's Billy Crystal.
Yeah, like you're mainly getting his voice though, like because he's wearing mime makeup. So I don't know, maybe people didn't like latch on that was him, or maybe he wasn't hugely famous quite yet either.
I was gonna say, was Billy Crystal huge in 1984? I don't know. But
Probably not huge enough that he couldn't fly under the radar and that kind of thing.
Yeah. But yeah, so like, and Fran Dresser, she wasn't famous until the 90s.
Yeah. Dana Carvey's in it, but he wasn't even on SNL yet at that point, so it's not like a cameo. It's just an early casting.
And then Ed Begley Jr., he wasn't, well, he was never really like a famous guy. He was more of a
Character
actor. So we just know him because like we're nerds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like a lot of the people just kind of, so where like the Ruddles was a complete, like people knew who, because I mean, like George Harrison even did a guest appearance in the Ruddles. This was a lot more subtle.
Yeah. Good movie. If you haven't seen it,
What
go
the hell
watch
are
it.
you doing with your life?
If it's been a while since you've seen it, watch it again. If you're sick of Goes to 11 jokes, I understand, but it's still a good movie.
I mean, even the overplayed jokes, I think they're still funny.
They're still good, yeah.
Yeah, they're still funny.
And they're over quickly, so
yeah,
you can get through the Goes to 11 and get to Lick My Love Pump.
Yeah. I think it is one of those movies where the more you watch it, the more you'll have jokes land. Especially, like, if you saw it before, like, if you become a musician or something since the last time you saw it, watch it again. Especially, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't remember the last time I actually sat down and watched the whole thing.
It's, I don't know, been a decade. Who can say?
Yeah.
So that was This Is Spinal Tap. And now I think we're going to take a look at the soundtracks. Now, the music in the film I thought really stood out. I thought it was really good. But yeah, I think it was more or less like snippets of the song, and they were played live. I think those were recorded live.
Yeah. Oh shit! On the soundtrack, it does say which original fake album it's supposed to be on each track.
Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Shark sandwich.
Well, all right.
Shit
sandwich. Sean, analyze the cover.
Do you not have the? Do you not have the album?
No, I don't have it.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so which one do you want me to analyze? The black one or the one that I saw online?
The black one.
The black one.
I meant the black one, yes.
Okay, it's black.
None more black.
It can't get any blacker. It's the blackest of the black.
You can kind of see my reflection off my phone when I look at it.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at the new one that they put out for the re-release. Now, what's interesting, this is not what I was picturing, like, in all the years.
Well, they described her being on all fours. I can't tell she's on all fours on that.
Yeah. Like the Sabrina Carpenter cover, I think, was a lot closer. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's more smell the crotch. I already made that joke, but I'm not sure if you're going to cut that one out or not.
I think it's funny that Sabrina Carpenter did that cover, honestly.
Oh, this has the fake Smell the Glove song list here.
Oh, really?
So, Hellhole, Chrome-Plated Mistress, Greasing the Beast, Tooth and Nail, and Wound in Plaster, Blistered Sisters, Smell the Glove, Red Hot Breezes, parentheses, Satan Sneezes, Penetrating Eyes, and Hell Hath No Heartburn.
Hell Hath No Heartburn?
Yeah.
It's a song about getting older then, I guess, there. Amazing.
All right, let's look at the Spinal Tap soundtrack here.
The first side has Hellhole off of Smell the Glove. There we go. Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You Tonight by Intravenous de Milo.
From
DeMilo.
Yeah.
Heavy Duty from Bent for the Rent. Rock and Roll Creation from The Gospel According to Spinal Tap. America, previously unreleased.
They made a reference to it in the film, but it wasn't in the movie.
Yeah. Cups and Cakes, standalone single. And that's the first side.
All right. Well, since I don't have an actual copy of this, we're going to
stream it.
Yep.
We're going to stream it like I'm about to stream piss into your toilet.
All right. All right. We'll be back.
No! Working on a sex farm.
And we're back.
Working on a sex farm.
That's on the other side.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Sex farm, Flexo.
All right, that was side one of the Spinal Tap soundtrack. What'd you guys think?
Well, I didn't get to work on the sex farm yet.
Yeah, it did listen like a compilation that touches all over a band's career, that like flows from songs that don't
Like
sound
a greatest
alike.
hits. Yeah, it felt like a greatest hits album, actually.
They did a good job at capturing a greatest hits that doesn't go chronologically, that's trying to flow, but then has to like put on something that's pretty different by the end. But yeah,
Yeah.
it like all the songs individually were funny, but it really did feel like one of those what the hell greatest hits albums that takes like some bizarre turns throughout, which was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think musically, all of these songs were executed incredibly well. They were all well crafted. You could tell there was a lot of thought put into them to the point that I think like these guys are just like, we have a whole bunch of like awesome music, but we're comedians, so we have to do something to get this music out there. At least that's kind of my assessment.
What came first, the music or the spinal tap?
Well, I mean, they are all legitimately great musicians and singers.
But I don't know if they would have gotten together to make this kind of music if they didn't at least have an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I will point out, I think the keyboard playing in this really holds everything together, kind of like a fine glue.
Yeah.
Like, Dave and I have talked in past episodes about how the keyboard is underrepresented in heavy metal, and I think the soundtrack kind of proves that.
Yeah, makes a compelling case for more keyboard and heavy metal.
Yeah, especially that one where it sounded, when we get to it, well, I'll say which one, but the one that sounded like Iron Maiden, but the keyboard was kind of holding it down, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Iron Maiden would have been better with more keyboards, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure an Iron Maiden fan would make me run to the hills for saying that.
Run to the hills! Bruce Dickerson.
They'd come at you like a trooper.
Yeah.
Then they'd make you their power slave.
Yeah. I don't know any more Iron Maiden, so
as with the exception of America, all of these songs were in the movie.
Yeah.
And America, I don't know if it was cut from the movie or what. They did reference it at one point. The scene where they were trying to come up with songs to play after Nigel left. They're like, well, we can't do America. That's one of Nigel's. So
it does. I'll talk about it when we talk about America. It does seem like it was written by like that. It was like under the direction of a different, like the vision of a different member of the band. But yeah.
And another thing I will point out is I think these songs weren't the same songs that were in the movie. I think these were like recorded in the studio, and I don't know if the other ones were recorded live, but there were I noticed a slight difference in the mix between a lot of these songs and what was in the movie.
Yeah,
maybe they were mixed. Maybe they were recorded like for the soundtrack, and when they were played in the movie, they were because I think they cut them down for the movie length, you know.
Yeah, but there's just there's certain like vocal hooks and stuff that I noticed were slightly different.
The keyboard parts were a little different.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I guess the world may never know.
The world will probably know. The world might already know. There might already be an interview where they talk about it.
Hey,
probably like all of these songs were in the movie. Steve's an idiot. Oh, okay, whatever.
Hey. I was making a reference to a commercial that came out about the same time the Spinal Tap movie came out. So fuck you.
Okay.
And you're like, I don't even know what commercial you're talking about. It's the how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Oh yeah. That was 80s. Yeah.
80s. We love the 80s.
Do a lot of coke and vote
Took
for Ronald Reagan.
Okay, track by track. Hellhole.
That was interesting. This was the one that canonically is a part of Smell the Glove. And like when you kind of get the gist from the movie Smell the Glove, the record label isn't confident about it, and it's not just the cover. And so like you kind of get like that Smell the Glove isn't a great album from the movie. And to me, this was like the least interesting of the songs on the whole side. So I think that it's kind of interesting to do that for the Smell the Glove song.
I'm a little baffled on why they opened with Hellhole.
It should have been Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You Tonight.
Yeah,
It should have
Like
been
they
Tonight I'm
opened
Gonna
the
Rock You
movie.
Tonight. But I think maybe like the in-universe explanation is it's off of the new album.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think they probably even thought about this when they were compiling that. It's like, it probably should be Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You Tonight. But since Hellhole's the newest in the discography, it would probably make more sense to open it with that one.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think it should have been the Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You Tonight.
Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You Tonight is the better song, like easily, hands down.
That should have been the album opener because that's the hook song. That's the song to bring you in. So Hellhole is an okay song, but it's not a great song. It has a good groove, but like Dave said, it's kind of like an okay song, and like he was saying, like, you know, Smell the Glove was an album that the record company didn't have a lot of faith in, so it's kind of funny that this shitty song is kind of the album opener.
And I think they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
I think they opened it with the mediocre song.
I think that's part of the joke. And that,
well, they should have opened it with Cups and Cakes then. If they're going to open it with a shitty song.
I don't think Cups and Cakes is shitty.
I
I don't think Hellhole is either.
Yeah.
But,
I don't think so.
But compared
either.
to the rest of these songs, it was kind of mediocre. And like Dave said, it's probably representative of Smell the Glove, which in universe is probably a mediocre album.
And like the fact that they're on tour to promote that album and the movie only plays the one song from the album too, like really tells you something about the album. And I think that's some really smart writing on everyone's part to do it that way.
I did really like the Deep Purple style organ in this song.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I do like the groove and I like the riffs in it and stuff too. But yeah, it's probably the weakest song on the side. Really,
I like that it did kind of like the bluesy groove for the verses and then like fist pumping cock rock for the chorus. Hellhole. Yeah. Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You Tonight.
Fucking classic.
Great song.
Better than any fucking Kiss song ever.
I like how gross the lyrics are. Like you still got your baby teeth. Ew. Yeah. It's like, you know, this is done as a joke in the song, but you know, you do hear all the classic rock songs where someone's singing "I'm gonna make love to you, child," and you just get uncomfortable. This is like
to bring it back to Kiss, I remember, I think it was back in like 2009, they did a album where they re-recorded a lot of their like classic songs with their current lineup, and one of them was Christine 16. And I remember reading a review where somebody's like, you know, it's even creepier to hear Gene sing this as a 60-year-old man.
Yeah. But I think Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You Tonight is like the best like single like hookiest riff.
Yeah, the riff in this is fucking great.
It's amazing. I love it. I like how hilariously unnecessary the big rock ending is to it too. It's just kind of there and it just keeps going and going and going. It's amazing as a joke. Yeah. And then one thing that I liked about the studio version that was not in the movie that was in here was like the gated flange on the vocals, like in the bridge. That was
hilarious.
Yeah. And that was like a good way to like date the song to a slightly earlier period than 1984. Which was a smart touch on all of their parts. Like these are very like they were very deliberate on how to craft the jokes with all this and by putting each song in a moment in time.
Yeah, because Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You Tonight sounds 70s.
Yeah, it's much more 70s while Hellhole's more 80s.
Yeah. Great song. And I thought in the movie it was the perfect way to introduce the band too. Like, it just something about that riff just draws you right in.
We're Spinal Tap from the UK. You must be the USA.
Well, yeah, there you go. That's different from because they don't say that in the recorded version.
Yeah. Heavy Duty.
You said duty.
Stupidest lyrics. Complimentary, but stupidest lyrics brings out the duty in my soul. I laugh every time I hear that.
It's stupid, but in the best way.
Yeah.
That's the like because it's so Monty Python stupid.
Yeah, like that slow, sleazy heavy metal riff. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that one. That's really all you can say. Is it's stupid lyrics, but it has a great groove. Has a great groove to it.
Yeah, the sleazy sounding guitar I think sounds fucking great, and then combined with like the hooky chorus. And another thing I really liked is the bass went really deep, like especially during that chorus part when they were like heavy duty. Like,
Yeah.
it went like way down. And I think this is probably true of most of the songs, but I put down on this one like the lead guitar accents were on point.
Yeah. It's Nigel.
Next one, Rock and Roll Creation, probably my favorite off this album.
Overblown prog nonsense, complimentary.
I liked it too. I like the prog parts that just like all of a sudden break down and like they're talking, doing the talk story.
I like the
like you were saying, where it's like you can tell there was some story for the album. You know?
Yeah. You could tell this is a selection from a concept album.
Yeah.
I liked the cool droney like noise synth thing at the beginning before it like really kicks off. I like how like when it gets to the bridge section, they're doing kind of a Baba O'Reilly reference.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed is the drummer was doing some really like interesting triplets that I thought sounded really good that I've never caught before. Lead guitar obviously shreds. Chorus is fucking huge, and the synth breakdown part was just epic. And then like right between the breakdown and then returning to the song, the guitar just had this like really sweet harmony that I think did a really good job of like taking you from the cloudy epic part to back to the rock and roll. Great song, and loved the scene in the movie with Derek getting stuck in the pod, of course.
Yeah, very good.
Best scene in the movie to me.
I think my favorite song on this side though is still Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You Tonight.
Well, yeah.
But yeah.
You can also tell this song probably led into something really expositional on the concept album, the fake concept album.
Yeah.
From.
I bet there were some insufferable little like spoken word pieces between songs on that record.
The next one, America.
This
sounded like listening to the Best of Bread, except good.
Yeah.
But both sides in one song.
Yeah. This one you can tell was supposed to be written by a different member of the band, like how they couldn't do it without Nigel, because this was a very Nigel song. Like this felt like David St. Hubbins had very little to do with it, as opposed to like all the other ones.
Yeah, compared to the other ones, it really stuck out. But I mean, it starts out as just like a cheesy, soaring, soft ballad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like it was like a bipolar song is kind of what I was thinking.
Well, then it gets to like galloping Iron Maiden stuff by the end.
It's like the galloping Iron Maiden with a synth in it, and that was kind of cool, I thought.
Yeah.
Well, it really reminded me of when we were listening to The Best of the Bread, and it was just all ballads on the first side, and then we flip it over, and you were like, "What the fuck? Where did this come from?"
Well, and when you look at the album credits, this one isn't sung by David. It's co-lead vocals between Nigel and Derek. So it's like different singers even, which I think is a nice little touch.
I think it's funny that you have Best of Bread displayed prominently.
As you should.
As you should.
I have all the albums we did last season displayed prominently.
I think Best of Bread is one of our better episodes, honestly.
I think it's funny it went into a rocking like Iron Maiden part, but during that part they were just calling out so many like American like cultural things or stereotypes.
Well,
apple pie.
And the kind of thing that a British person who doesn't know that much about America would just shout out, like Johnny Appleseed.
Yeah.
Like I've never heard Johnny Appleseed come up in a in a normal conversation with another American as an adult.
Right.
Well, we're talking about him now.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Well, because a faux British guy brought it up.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. What do you know about Johnny Appleseed there, Steve?
Not much.
I don't know. Fucking. He planted apples
It's one of those kind of, like folktale legends loosely based off of a real guy that they tell grade school students. You know? Like, yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And he got bit by a snake.
Yeah.
All right. And then probably the biggest departure on this album, Cups and Cakes.
It sounds very specifically like a certain era of British music, and I think it's hilarious. I love how saccharine the lyrics are.
The
like,
lyrics get
aches.
stuck in my head. Yeah. It's going to be stuck in my head for weeks now.
And then there's that cheesy little laugh near the end.
Yeah. I just started laughing, and I'm like, cups and cakes. And then, like, it just sounds like early. I know it's kind of early Beatles, but not early Beatles. I don't know. It's almost like even pre-Beatles. I don't know.
It sounds like one of the mini bands who are doing like harpsichord songs while they're trying to rip off like Yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, cuz there were a shit ton of bands who did this kind of stuff back at like in the 60s.
They were trying to ride the tailcoats of the Beatles kind of thing.
And
Stones were one of those. Oh.
Yeah. And Yesterday was just like, it had like a melancholy gentleness to the sound, but there's like some real sadness behind it, and a lot of people couldn't figure out what to do with it, and we're just kind of doing shit like this to try to ride off of that.
You know what speaking of that, like Paul McCartney said one time he was doing an interview, he was talking about Yesterday. He said to his like people, he said, "All right, give me like the 10 best covers of Yesterday. I just want to listen to them and see what like some of the best covers."
It is the most covered song of all time. But go ahead with your story. Yeah.
And so his people got him like some covers of it, and like he heard one from like Sinatra and like Elvis did one and stuff, and he said they all changed the lyric. They all said like, "I must have said something wrong." Like,
yeah,
like they didn't admit that they did, because it's like, I said something wrong, but they all like said, like they changed it to, "I must have said something wrong." So like they're all like trying to say, "Oh, I don't know what I did."
Too much ego from the other.
Yeah. So
people.
like he's like, "Oh." They couldn't even own up to being wrong.
Which is what makes it a great song.
Yeah.
It's someone who knows they were wrong.
Yeah. They did something wrong. Now they long for Yesterday. Yeah.
Anyway, we should probably do a Beatles episode at some point. But yeah, Cups and Cakes though, love it. It is a god awful song in a lot of ways, but like
it's god awful in the best way.
Yeah. It's an insipid little earworm.
Yeah, it is. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
All right. So next side we have Big Bottom.
Yeah.
Sex Farm.
My favorite farm.
Stonehenge.
Yes.
Give me some money.
I need it.
Yeah.
And Listen to the Flower People.
Very good.
Yes. I can't wait for that one.
I have a personal anecdote about Give Me Some Money, which I will hold off until we actually are doing that.
When I was looking at reviews of the new movie, somebody said they were mad that Paul McCartney did Cups and Cakes and not Give Me Some Money.
Give Me Some Money is more like something he would actually do. Yeah.
Give me some money.
All right. This is side 2.
All right.
All right, we're back from side B of the Spinal Tap soundtrack. Right up top, I gotta hand it to these guys. They handled so many different eras of music in this collection of songs. Like, it flows like a compilation, and it feels like a compilation. But they sat there and did these all in like, well, I'm not gonna say like one session, but the same time period. They I guess what I'm trying to say is they nailed the time periods they were parodying or whatever.
Yeah. Well, they knew what they were doing, because, I mean, if you think about it though too, like we're thinking in 2025 mind, they're also thinking in just, if they were doing it in the early 80s, they were only thinking within a what, 15 year period?
20 kinda.
Well, 60s
Yeah.
to like 60s to the early 80s.
So yeah, it sounds like it goes from like 64 to 84.
I wonder if this kind of implies that Spinal Tap like chases trends like Kiss does.
I would think so.
I wonder what the Spinal Tap disco album sounds like.
Ooh, that'd be a good.
Yeah. I wonder what the Spinal Tap grunge album sounds like.
Like the Metallica one.
But yeah, overall, this side, lots of different kinds of music on this side. You kind of get you get the sense that they. I mean, the time period I got from most of it was like late 70s, but then they hit you with the mid 60s songs to bookend it. And arrangement wise, I think that was probably the best way to do it.
It almost feels like it's working backwards in time as it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Because, like, yeah, Big Bottom is very, like, early 80s, and then, like, Sex Farm, you're getting into, okay, like, late 70s hard rock type stuff. Stonehenge, you're getting into, like, the mid-70s space rock stuff. And then, I guess, Give Me Some Money would be earlier than Flower People. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Like, Give Me Some Money would be, like, 64, and Flower People would be, like, 67. But, yeah.
Pretty wide range there. But yeah, Big Bottom, great song. I think they did a really good job of like mixing like all sorts of kinds of basses together. Like you had like a really like clean, deep bass sound. You had kind of a more distorted, fuzzy bass sound, and then of course the keyboard had its like sub bass sound, and the drummer was using mostly toms. I noticed.
Yeah, very deep. Like there'd be an occasional like little synth run in a higher octave, but other than that, everything was on the low end.
Yeah,
yeah. Beethoven would have loved this song.
Yeah,
but yeah, I said this is a great song about ass.
Yeah. It's gimmicky, but the joke is that it's gimmicky. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
all. Yeah, I guess all of these are.
Well, yeah, they're all supposed to be gimmicky, but that's kind of Spinal Tap's thing. Is that it's supposed to be a gimmick? Like,
yeah.
Again, like you said, Spinal Tap follows trends. They are trend chasers. They're not like we're artists and trying to be. Have an artistic vision. They're just trying to follow the trends.
I saw an interview where somebody asked him if he was mad that Freddie Mercury ripped him off with Fat Bottom Girls, and I think his response was more or less, "Oh, I think we were just writing similar songs at the same time."
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Next one, Sex Farm. I thought this one was like Unleashed in the East era, like Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's great. Like
the lyrics are just ridiculous.
It's just nothing but sexual innuendos that get clunkier and clunkier as the song keeps going. It's amazing.
Yes.
You can tell they were cracking up just writing it.
And it all works, so that's what's great about it. It sounds like late 70s to me.
Yeah. And I like it, like, after it's just been, like, wall-to-wall innuendos at some point. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, no, I don't know what you mean.
What are you talking about? Yeah. Sex Farm? What's that? Can I go there?
That's in the second verse, so after he's already saying sex farm woman.
Working on a sex farm.
Bothering your livestock.
That's my personal favorite out of all of them.
I think the bean field one was pretty good.
Yeah, that one was good. Yeah.
Plowing your bean field.
Yeah. Planting my seed. Yeah.
Planting my seed. Anyways.
Yeah. And I just love it that this is the song they chose to like show them at the Air Force Base gig in the movie too.
Yeah. Wrong audience.
Yeah.
See, I bet you the Air Force people would have loved America. Why didn't they play America at the Air Force Base?
They should have played America. Like the Air Force people actually might have gotten into Stonehenge too.
I can see that.
Yeah.
They probably like rock and roll creation.
Yeah.
All right, and then speaking of overblown prog songs, we got Stonehenge.
Yeah.
Just epic and silly, and the basis for so many European power metal bands.
Yeah.
I loved it. That's the funny part is that I love it, but it's so fucking ridiculous.
It starts off sounding like Hawkwind, then it gets into like Led Zeppelin 3, like the folkier songs on side 2.
I have to hand it to I have to hand it to him for making something so epic and also silly.
Yeah. The lyrics basically say nothing. Like it's like
well, you pointed out that
yeah.
they wouldn't have had panpipes.
Yeah, because that's Greek. Yeah. And then just like they don't have anything to say about the Druids, just like that they don't know anything about them. And then at the end they come back to that again.
And when it was clearly like they were stoned one night.
Yeah.
And we're like, you know what's epic? Stonehenge. Oh, right. Yeah. What do you know about Stonehenge?
Not a fucking thing.
Like
well, I imagine the children dance to the pipes of Pan.
And then they're like, I wonder what the Druids are doing now.
Yeah.
They're all dead.
Yeah.
All dead now.
They've been dead.
I
for
wonder
a
if they're
long
going to come
time.
back. No, they're not.
Yeah.
That's not how this works.
It's not how any of this works.
It's amazing. Great song. Really funny. One of the funnier moments on the record, I think, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love how he delivers. No one knows who they were or what they were doing.
Well, and you get, like the deadpan monologue, and then like the kind of like really kind of sweet melodic lyrics from Nigel, and then you get like the gruff barking lyrics from David, and it's like a great back and forth, a great contrast. And then you have the mandolin solo.
The mandolin solo actually kicks ass, I will say.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's almost punky because it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, every single one of these songs is awesome, I think.
Every one of these songs I could listen to on its own, except maybe Hellhole. But yeah.
All right, next one. We're going all the way back to the 60s with Gimme Some Money.
Give me some.
So, when I lived with the Dream Theater roommate and a bunch of other people, it eventually fell on me. It wasn't originally me, but it eventually fell on me when the guy who it fell on originally moved out, to be the one who would be in contact with the landlord and collect everyone's share of the rent around the 1st. And so I would just go into people's rooms and be like, you know what I want.
That's great. You know what I need.
Which was really fun.
Song-wise, probably as good as pretty much anything that came out of the period that it's supposed to sound like.
Honestly, it's my favorite solo on the record.
That's what I was saying. That song actually probably could have been a hit at that time.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't even sound like a parody song.
It really doesn't.
Yeah.
No.
It sounds like an actual song from that time period. So,
Like, the only parts of the lyrics that don't just sound like a song from that time period are when it gets into the loose change, bad checks,
yeah, that part is like the only part that sounds kind of like a little off, but like the rest of it could have totally been from that time period.
Yeah, they would have ate that song up.
I think I wrote earlier in my notes that Sex Farm was my favorite on the side. I think it's this one instead, though.
I think
as I
it's,
talk about it more, like it's just great. It's in the same genre space as like the early Kink singles and like Screaming Lord such. I just like this kind of music in general.
Yeah,
kind of like the R&B tinge, like British garage rock is just mwah. I love the drum sound on it, like the lower-fi drum sound, and yeah.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite on the actually probably my favorite on this whole album. Like I just love 60s music, so like
Yeah.
a lot of so Yeah, so I'm a sucker for it anyway. So
It's got that like warbly combo organ thing going on it
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then on the other end of the 60s, we got Listen to the Flower People.
okay,
What was the name of the fictional album it was on again? Because
hold up, let me pull it up.
you brought it up and it was funny.
You got it, or
I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Spinal Tap sings "Listen to the Flower People" and other favorites, which is just a great like parody, like that. Like when they would take like self-titled records that were released in like England and give them like slightly different track orders and throw on like a few non-album singles and like release them in the U.S. That's what they would name them a lot of the times, things like that.
Yeah, like the Beatles. I have one that's called Beatles Yesterday and Today, but it's like they took a bunch of tracks from other albums and cut them up and put Yesterday, but they also have like Drive My Car from Rubber Soul and stuff like that. So the Beatles American releases were all kinds of fucked up.
Yeah.
I think I talked about this at one point, but like Revolver was completely fucked up. People lauded Revolver as one of the best Beatles album. Well, it's the best UK Beatles album, like one of the best.
Yeah, because that's probably my favorite Beatles
But
album.
the
UK
US version of Revolver, people thought it was terrible because the track listing is completely different and it's one of the shorter track listings.
I don't think I've ever listened to any of the US orders.
Just don't.
Just
Well, yeah,
don't. Just stick with the British versions because
I did see. I didn't watch it, but I saw a headline on YouTube where somebody made a case for Rubber Soul being better, the American version. But I don't know any of his arguments. So
Yeah,
you know,
I
don't know what the track listing is, so I know it doesn't start with. I only know the British one, which it starts with like "Baby, You Can Drive My Car."
yeah,
Which I've heard the American version starts with a different song.
Yeah.
So I've heard other. Yeah. So I'd have to look at what the different, but I've heard people say like, cause people would say like the British people would say like Revolver is the best album, like one of the best album ever. And Americans were like, no, it's not. It's not really good. It's really short and it only had like 11 tracks. And so the American version was an atrocity.
And it wasn't sequenced well either.
It wasn't sequenced well. So actually the Beatles' answer to Revolver being so fucked up was Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And that was the first album that was released in the UK and America without the tracks being messed with at all.
I'm really glad the record companies
And they
went a little
doing that.
less hands on.
Well, they made it so they stopped doing that because they called it a concept album. So they said you can't touch the track listing.
Speaking of Sgt. Pepper's, Listen to the Flower People.
Yeah, very Summer of Love, 1967.
Yeah.
But it was like in a trend chasey way. Like it has the sitar in it, and like I like it that's like one of the sloppier instrument parts in like the whole thing because it feels like they're just trying to figure out how to do the sitar.
Yeah,
There's like a couple bum notes in there. It's like, oh, he doesn't know this instrument yet.
He actually doesn't even know how to play it. He's just playing it because everyone else is playing one.
Yeah.
Like when they played the sitar and Paint It Black, he's just playing a guitar part. The ding, 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 ding. Well,
Brian Jones,
yeah, Brian Jones is just playing the guitar part on a sitar.
Yeah.
He's not playing like a sitar guitar. He's not playing a sitar part, you know. So
Yeah.
so it's not, he didn't know how to play a sitar. He just played a guitar part on the sitar.
Yeah. That is I think that is my favorite Stones song though.
I love that song. Yeah, don't I'm not saying anything bad about his sitar playing.
Yeah.
He
didn't know what he was doing.
He just didn't know what he was
He
doing.
got lucky. Yeah.
And then he died.
And then he died after getting fired from the band.
In a pool.
in a pool at age 27.
He's part of the 27 Club.
Brian Jones, there are some good Stones albums after he dies, but I still kind of feel like they're missing something without him.
You know, I have to say, Stones, not my favorite. I'm never...
I mean, I love Painted Black, but I can't really think of a lot of other Stones. I've never sat down and listened to a Stones album before.
So like,
They weren't as much of an album band as like the Beatles.
so like everyone says how great the Stones are and everything, and you know, I've tried a couple of their albums and I'm like, not really like that one. And everyone talks a big game about Exile to Main Street.
Yeah, yeah. That is a good album.
So I listened to it and I was just like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
That is the biggest pushback against my theory that they went downhill after Brian Jones died, because that was a post-Jones one. But like for the most part, they do lose like some vitality after he dies. But yeah, no, like they were more of a singles band in my opinion, or they were one of those bands that would like put out like a really great album and then just drop a really big turd right after that because they just kept putting stuff out. They didn't take the time to necessarily make sure that everything they put out was good.
They didn't take time to cook the turd.
Yeah.
They just dropped the turd.
They just dropped the turd. Well, like the Beatles had like strings of good albums. Like you could go like listen to 5 Beatles albums in a row and they'd all be great. And then if you listen to 5 Stones albums in a row, you'll hear like a great record and then you'll hear, oh, what the hell is this? Yeah. What if we did a season of all dad rock? I guess granddad rock at this point.
Well, that'd be easy to do because I have my dad and stepdad's record collection.
Yeah.
But yeah, just bookend the Listen to the Flower People. I think the bass on it had some great groove, and the vocals were actually really, really well done. I thought he did a really good like flowery, like 60s vocal on that.
Well, I think the vocals were a little too clean.
Yeah.
For the time period, but yeah, it was fine.
I laughed every time there was the shh, the backing vocals.
Yeah.
That was really funny.
It was probably the worst song, but it was the funniest song.
Yeah.
It really was.
Like, I think it's technically a worse song than Cups and Cakes, honestly, but it is funny.
It's probably the funniest song on the album, truthfully. It made me laugh probably the most out of all of them, even like Sex Farm.
Yeah. And I also liked the it's like a Mozart symphony. It's really funny.
Because they're just trying to throw things in there to make them sound important, you know.
Well, and I get the impression that they're kind of like pretentious and maybe even the same way that I was when I was like 16 and into like, I don't know, trying to pretend I was more intelligent than I really was.
Yeah. Well, it's like at the end of the movie when David Hubbins is talking about all the audiobooks he's listening to, you know, like read by by famous people with the same last name. Those are all children's books. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then like, you know, the pretension also is that he's making fun of the pretentiousness of like John Lennon too, because John Lennon, they did this big broadcast of All You Need Is Love, you know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I think that's what they're kind of making fun of right there with the listen to what the flower people say. And, you know.
Yeah. Although they could also be making fun of like the many imitators of like All You Need Is Love and like the Beatles and the Summer of Love, and how there are a bunch of, you know, like third-rate imitators who are just doing a lot of shit like that.
And then who was it? Jefferson Airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody to Love. Don't you want somebody to love?
A lot of this, like you made the joke that it's like if the Beatles stayed together and became a heavy metal band, but it's almost like if Jefferson Airplane had gone heavy metal instead of radio rock.
Yeah.
Oh man, could Could you imagine if the Beatles stayed together, what their disco album would have sounded like? Oh, Jesus.
I think John Lennon said in the shortly before he died that he thought if the Beatles had stayed together, they would have just ended up sounding like ELO. And I don't think he's wrong.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So that was the Spinal Tap movie and the accompanying soundtrack.
That was our season opener, Spinal Tap Spectacular!
Season 1 premiere.
Yes.
Season 1 premiere.
We got,
Wait, season 3.
Or season
Season
3.
4. That was our season 4 spectacular.
Now this is season 3.
Season
5.
Yeah.
I'm incrementally bringing the number up, Steve.
But yeah, we got a pretty exciting season planned for you guys. We more or less got all of our albums mapped out that we're gonna do this season, and then
some wild cards from guests.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get some more guest albums in because they have ideas, and it would probably be interesting to hear us listen to things from other people. I don't know.
Yeah, no, we just didn't do that as much early on because it got kind of annoying to try to plan around that. But I think we've been doing this enough that people want to bring stuff, so we'll end up making it work.
Yeah. What kind of albums you guys got planned?
Oh, we're going folk punk for the next episode, so have fun with that. We're gonna listen to a possum walk across a banjo.
Who's next? Who's bringing next?
Next I'm making a folk punk joke, but this is their first album that isn't folk punk. I'm doing Knife Man by AJJ.
Oh, yeah, son.
And the first cassette I'm bringing because I bought it off of Bandcamp, and then I was like, I should get a physical copy for the podcast, and thought I was buying a record, and thought I was getting a really good deal, and a cassette came in. I was like, you know what? I should have read closer. This will be fine. Yeah.
Oh.
It reminds me, I got to order the Swing Kids cassette. I just noticed that they took their music off of Spotify.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Sean? What do you got planned coming up soon?
I'm trying to decide if I want to go with Velvet Underground or if I want to go with Lou Reed.
Lou Reed,
who was in the Velvet Underground. If I want to do Lou Reed first, or if I want to do Velvet Underground and then do Lou Reed later, or do Husker Du.
The opportunities are endless.
They are.
I think my next one will probably be Peter Capaldi's was it Sweet Illusions? I think one of the next ones I'll bring in is the Mudcrutch album, which we listened to their singles between seasons. But that was non-canon, so just ignore everything that we said in that episode.
At some point, I'm going to bring a Belarusian synth pop, a synth post-punk band in and try to make one of our guests read the track list in acrylic alphabet Belarusian. But yeah.
That'll be interesting.
All right. I think that's all we got to say about Spinal Tap. I suppose sometime we'll do the second movie. Well, I want to do Return of Spinal Tap, which is more of like a concert movie, but they did a few like skits in between, and you can get that on Laserdisc.
We can probably follow Spinal Tap's whole career over the course of several seasons if we really want to.
Yeah, I mean, they got the Break Like the Wind album, they got the Back from the Dead album, so...
And then
we could do A Mighty Wind and watch them be folksmen.
Yeah. Then we can do Best in Show and try to make that music related somehow. Anywho, this is going to be a fun season. Really looking forward to it. Catch you on the flip side.
Peace out, bitches.
Side B is a Floof Goof Studios production. Head on over to killrockmusic.com, that's KILRAVOCK music.com, to check out our post-punk band, The Alliterates, and Steve's solo project, Killrock. You can also check out Steve and Dave's experimental project, Lucid Fugue, where the theme song comes from, at lucidfugue.bandcamp.com. You can also check out Dave's old band, Gong Farmer, at gongfarmer.bandcamp.com, spelled GONGFERMOUR. You can find each of us on various social media platforms. Check out the description for more information. Thanks!
Lick my love pump.